So today I'm going to talk about Zen and what Zen had to do with this movie right here, Agora. Agora, good movie. Agora is about a movie about this, mostly centered on some of these characters right here, mostly Hypatia, this actress named Rachel Weisz that plays Hypatia, a atheist scientist, not scientist, mathematician. I think she's a scientist. I think she was a scientist, but she was a philosopher, and these people actually existed in Athens, in ancient Athens, Egypt, and Athens at the time was a big booming city. It was a that many boats go there for trade for goods, and also I think it was for trade for goods, I think at the time, but also books, the biggest library in the world, and I think it was the only library at the time. And they collected books from boats that came to visit or to like migration, whatever. And yeah, they had books. And Agora, why the movie called Agora, was because it was this in this middle of the city. It's kind of like Speaker's Corner, like you see on YouTube. Speaker's Corner. It's this bunch of people have debates and conversations about philosophy, politics, whatever, science, and preachers and all that of their religions and all that. So yeah, that's Agora. That's where people come to meet and to have conversations and ideas and all that. Agora. Back then, it was called Agora. Agora. In Athens and many places. The Agora. That's what one of the some of the scenes take place in the Agora. And the movie is also about when the Athens was taken over by Christians, and lots of hell broke loose in Athens, ancient Athens back then. But some historians would say there's some critics that are real historians that say that some of these stuff they've got some of the parts of history wrong in this movie. So some of it is wrong, some of it is true, some of it's real, really happened. Hypatia, the main characters in this movie, is a real person. And this is some of her quotes right here from some of the, I think was some of the books that her students. She was a teacher at the time in Athens. Her students wrote about her. Like I think it's one preacher guy. I think it doesn't show the guy on here, but I forgot the name of the character. But yeah, and this one king also wrote about her. I think. But yeah, but there's some quotes right here. Reserve your right. Quote one: reserve your right to think, for even to think wrongly is better than not to think at all. Another quote: all formal dogmatic religions are fallacies and fallacious, and must never be accepted by self-respecting persons as final. Another quote: fables should be taught as fables, myths as myths, and miracles as poetic fantasies. To teach superstitions as truths is a most terrible thing. The child mind accepts and believes them, and only through great pain and perhaps tragedy can he be in after years relieved of them. Yeah. Hypatia. And why does this movie have to do with Zen? The characters, her students and her, kept it Zen the whole time. They kept the limber mind, like Buddhism would say. I'm not a Buddhist priest, but sometimes I might talk about Buddhism because it's a cool religion. But I started to not like it that much because I read not most of it, but I was like, terrible books, terrible author. Oliver Benjamin, read 2 of his books, but haven't finished reading it because it was painful to read because it's terrible. It's like some dumbass shit. It's like an idiot is writing some book about like movie critic or something. Movie critic, yeah, it's terrible. Like a movie critic that's talking about religion is terrible, but it's not really talking about religion. It's talking about a movie, yeah. But yeah, consciousness. My version of consciousness in Zen, my version of it is rational self-interest with rational thinking, that manifests to rational self-interest, to rational action, to morality. But yeah, consciousness, thinking, um, thinking and doing. That's with reality and all that. At the time, at the events or whatever. So, but yeah, but Zen, she was very rational. She's a mathematician, philosopher. Of course, she's going to be rational. Um, so yeah, and throughout the movie, she was calm all the way to the end of her death of this movie, and she actually died by lots of Christians just stone her to death, stone her because like, oh, she's a witch, she's a blasphemer or whatever. So you don't believe in shit, and she died by being stoned. But yeah, stoned or they ripped her to pieces or something. They ripped her to pieces or bites to pieces or stoned or something. I can't remember exactly how she died in reality, in real life, not in the movie, but in real life. But yeah, yeah. So that's the movie and how she's Zen. Mindfulness and how you react to reality, not reality, well, yeah, reality, but to events, to what's going on around you, how you react to it. That's Zen. How you react and how you think and how you keep a limber mind, consciousness, you know, right think, right thought, right action. What the Buddha will say. So yeah, Zen Buddhism. Yeah. So yeah, that's agora, and that's Zen, and that's about it. Peace the fuck out. Yeah.